Richland County is fortunate to have its own municipal airfield, the Jim Hamilton-L.B. Owens Airport. A fixture since 1930, the airport, referred to by pilots by its three-letter airport code of Cub, accommodates charter-type aircraft, provides corporate and community meeting space, and is the base of operations for the aviation unit of the Richland County Sheriff's Department. Inside the Cub Terminal building is the South Carolina Aviation Hall of Fame. Established in 1991, the South Carolina Aviation Association recognizes military and civilian leaders, all who have made significant impacts to aviation industry across the state, including 2009 inductee Robert Sumwalt, the first chairman of the Richland County Airport Commission.
Look at all of these people. There's a lot of history right here. We have astronauts who have literally piloted the space shuttle. We have astronauts who have actually literally landed on the moon. We have a lot of famous people. We have the first African American who was ever a member of the demonstration team, the Thunderbirds. So, and a lot of great local history here who've been influential in South Carolina aviation. Francis Miller is down here somewhere. There's Francis here. There's Sylvia. They owned the flight school where I learned how to fly and got many of my ratings. I sweated many hours while sitting next to Francis in an airplane as she gave me, as she was an examiner, to rate my proficiency for the next rating that I was applying for. She gave me several check rides. So many of these people are just wonderful aviators, wonderful South Carolinians. We all know Ron McNair, who tragically lost his life in the Challenger accident in 1986.
A native of Columbia, Sumwalt was confirmed by the U.S. Senate in August of 2017 as chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board. But before that, as NTSB vice chair, he recalls how he was thrusted into the national media spotlight, acting as a media spokesman after the fatal 2015 derailment of an Amtrak train north of Philadelphia.
One of the things we do as a board member is to go and be the public face of a tragic accident. So it means interfacing with the media, interfacing with the public officials, and also the families who have gathered there. And so that's really our main job, main responsibility on site. And I've never seen a media event like that before. 3 days of just continuous standing in front of microphones, whether it's at a press briefing or whether it was doing one-on-one interviews. But it was quite an event, certainly a tragic event. 8 people lost their lives, and so I think the NTSB's investigation on that tragedy highlighted ways that we could keep something like that from happening again. You know, when I was a freshman in college, I would spend a lot of time sitting on the floor of the library reading NTSB accident reports, and I had a secret dream that one day I would be a part of the NTSB, never realizing that that dream would ever come true, let alone that one day I would be the chairman of the agency that actually wrote those reports.
Sumwalt says he will never forget where he came from growing up in the county, especially remembering mentors who've impacted him and his aviation career. And while he begins his tenure leading the NTSB, he wants others to benefit from what he's learned by connecting honorees here in South Carolina with Washington.
And then we've got, I mentioned Fig Newton, the first African American to fly in the Thunderbirds. We are going to have him come to the NTSB in November of this year to talk to us about the importance of diversity and inclusion. Charlie Bolton, when we had our speaker series at the NTSB, he was our first speaker. And of course he was at the time the NASA administrator. He only left fairly recently. In January is when he left. Charlie Bolton's mother was my librarian at Dreher High School.
Really?
And so we're really proud of all that he's done.
The South Carolina Aviation Hall of Fame is free and open to the public. For more information about the airport, access the county's website at www.rcgov.us.